Let me come up here. There we go. I hope you guys are having a great evening. I am your host, Coach Salita. You guys, we've been doing it for the last 3 weeks. We're talking Black history, Black history, Black history. Because as you know, this is Black History Month, right, you guys? Yeah. So we're going to delve deep into this week. And we're also going to go back and look at um week 1 and 2. Okay. We're gonna dig, maybe we should do that first, but before we get that, let's go ahead and get house cleaning out the way, housekeeping out the way. You guys, again, welcome to another episode of the Can We Be Frank Show, Black History Course 2025. We are on week 3. You guys, I'm really looking forward to you guys showing up. um Everybody's been missing my class basically, but that's fine. I'm not upset about it. I'm not upset. One thing about me is um I'm going to keep doing it. So when you holler, what have you done? I'll just refer you back to Universal Collective Network, because that's what I'm going to do. All right. That's it. Do what you want, say what you will, but that's what I'm going to refer you back to. Can We Frank Show. You guys, I know a lot of stuff has been going on. I know a lot of things have been going on. People are kind of upset about what's going on with the with our government. Some people are upset what happened with the what is that? The Super Bowl. And I understand it's entertainment. Entertainment. Keep in mind, it's all entertainment. The halftime show was great. I'm gonna say it. It was great. Lamar Kendrick did a great job. Okay. I hope a lot of you guys got the meaning. I did. I mean, I got the whole meaning. I was excited about it. You guys, it's about us. Because they seem to want to do what they want to do anyway. So it's time for us to do what we want to do. Okay. Um, it's sad that we've gotten so intermeshed with them. Okay. We got so intermeshed with them that sometimes it's hard to break away from them. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all wrong with the ideal that we've gotten in. We just got to realize that we got to slowly but surely start taking care of ourselves. That's what we have to realize. We got to realize that we're important now. Since nobody else didn't think we were important, we're important now. And we have to prove that to ourselves and each other. And we do that by supporting each other. We do that by uplifting each other, encouraging each other. We do that by showing action. And this is why I say, I do this. Regardless of whether one person show up or 1,000 people show up, I'm going to complete this course because it's something that I said I was going to do. And that's the attitude you have to go out with. You can't be caught up on who's doing this and who's doing that. When you're saying you're about to do something, make it happen. There's so many times we've sat in empty rooms and still continue doing what we had to do, because that's what you're supposed to do, regardless. And when you have that attitude, eventually they'll come. And if they don't come, that's fine. You have done what you said you were going to do. And it is about sticking to your word. And if nothing else, they can't say you don't have integrity and loyalty and accountability. Those things they can't take away from you because it's embedded in you. So, despite what you're doing, do not get upset if people don't show up. Okay. Um, Go back, tweak whatever, how you promoted it, how you brought it out, whatever it is that you need to do. And if they still don't show up, that's fine. Do yourself, do what you have to do to make things happen for yourself. Eventually, they'll grasp a straw and say, "Hey, okay, I'm coming." But don't beg and plead with nobody. Don't make it where you have to. I got this on the wrong. What's the name? There we go. Where you have to be so concerned about how people are seeing things. Do your thing. Do your thing. Okay. Regardless. Okay. So we are going to go over last week and the week before because of some things I think I didn't get a chance to show you guys. But I want to go ahead and do that. Hold up, you guys. Hello. Okay. Hold up, you guys. Hold up. Let me take you off speaker because it's not picking up in the speaker on my Bluetooth. Hold up.
Okay.
There we go. All right. So good evening, you guys. I got some students that showed up. Oh wow. Oh wow. Okay. Okay, cool. Let's see. Let's see if they know anything tonight. Okay. So and like I said, continue doing whatever it is that you need to do. It's not about what anybody else, it's about what you doing. So tonight we're going to talk about the transatlantic slave trade. The objective of this course is understanding the causes, effects, and human toll on the slave trade, including economic motivations and European colonization as driving forces, the depopulation of African regions and economic growth, and in the Americas as key effects, and the devastating human toll on the Middle Passage, forced labor, and family separation. I'm not saying we're going to go through all of that because that's a lot, but we're going to hit and pick and tick on certain things. Now, tonight our PowerPoint topic is going to be the origins of the transatlantic slave trade. We're going to talk about the life aboard. I think I got a video in this one. I know next week is going to have a lot of videos in it. I think this one has a video in it. Life aboard the slave ships, resistance and survival. And then at the end, I know everybody doesn't have a reflective journal, but it would be good to write about how you would feel during that time. We can talk about this on here, or you can write it down, either way you want to do it. Primary source of analysis, I can't even say the word, analyze excerpts from the slave narrative. So whatever we were talking about, kind of break it down. We can stop in the middle as we talk and break it down. And then at the end, the worksheet is going to consist of some terms, key terms like the Middle Passage, chattel slavery, stuff like that. We're going to be talking about. We have a whole definition sheet that we're going to do. Vocabulary, in other words, that we're going to do at the end. All right. So anybody, before we get started, anybody understand or have anything you want to say about the transatlantic slave? What does it mean to you? Do you guys, I mean, I know we studied that in probably in high school, but tell me what it meant to you.
Well, for me, that was, excuse me, the slave trade was, a forced act upon people, African people, and they moved them from Africa via the Atlantic Ocean to different places. It wasn't just the United States, it was the Dominican, a lot of the Caribbean islands. They stopped off over there and dropped, like, it was, I'm not gonna say dropped them off, it was a trade. They got money for it. They sold people to these different people, and this is how white people got wealthy, because they took black people and sold them. How you selling someone that don't even belong to you? But they done this, and that's how they wealthy. The European people and the white people became wealthy due to trading. It created a wealth for them to trade off human beings to go out there, and then they had them to do their crops, babysit their children, cook for them, put them in their houses to work for them, and didn't pay them anything to do this. And and we can say what we want to. It created a hierarchy in the community, which still impacts society today, that hierarchy, because some people think that they are still better over other people, and that slave mentality still exists today. Back then they was beating us with a whip. Today they beating us with that pencil. Exactly.
Anybody else?
With the slave trade,
Mm-hmm.
my great grandfather was on the ship
Mm-hmm.
because I got the manifest,
Mm-hmm.
and him and his brother were there's they called the Orange House in Washington, and they take the slaves and they would put them down in the basement until they were sold.
Mm-hmm.
Then they put them on the ship, and some of them came to New Orleans
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because he's on the manifest, him and his brother,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and I think they freed him because he married in 1850.
Okay.
And his marriage license was not recorded until 1880.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And they had generals and admirals sign his marriage license.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So that was in 1880.
Okay. Okay. So we know that it was more than one ship. We know there was many ships that
Yeah,
came in during
right.
that time. On
They
this.
came into New Orleans
Mm-hmm.
and they put them up for sale.
Exactly. So they came in from like parts of when we talk about Africa, the main areas. We talk about Senegal, Sierra Leone, West Africa. Those were like the slave trade regions, Angola and Congo. And then we had what they call the slave coast, according to the map, where that's where they, took them to and put them on the boats and then, sent them over. They stopped in places like Brazil, Buenos Aires. They stopped, that's in South America area. They said it was about 5 million of them that were dropped off in Brazil, according to this map. And then it was another 5 million that was dropped off in Lima, and then they went all the way up to 4.5 million in the West Indies. A lot of them got there. And then 2 million of them went into Central America. And it doesn't, okay, 5 million of them went to the US and they were dropped off in New York, Richmond, Charleston, and New Orleans. And then Mexico City also had some that came in from the West Indies, according to this map. 3 million of them went to Europe, okay, according to the map again. Now it says the map not only shows trade between the Americas and Africa during this time, but it more importantly equates the slaves to natural resources, because you got to remember that's what they saw them as, right? Or goods. As if they were objects, not people. An important part of
Right.
the triangular trade were the goods traded, such as tobacco, coffee, cotton,
Right.
sugar, mining, and rice. These goods are labeled on the map, and as you can see, the map, but are not, however, shown actually being traded. So it's not really saying that they were traded, those things were traded. Wow. There is a key in the bottom left corner that labels each good. These symbols are on the coast of North and South America, and they're not shown being traded. However, when you look at the map, the only things being traded was humans. So the map shows that down at the bottom, it tells you that those things were supposed to be traded. But according to the map, it's just showing how many humans moved around. Okay, how many humans were traded off. So it's asking how many slaves may have survived this horrendous trip across the transatlantic voyage. How many do y'all think on estimate that survived? Anybody?
We have to first know how many that they picked up.
Yeah, I have
Mm,
no idea. I don't, but I do know my great
There was a high mortality rate in the transport. They would only bring back about 30% to 40% of the ones that actually survived.
gotcha.
So there was a lot of then people that they were transporting that they just kind of
They throw them overboard.
yeah. So at that point, you have to ask, was any amount okay?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, the question is any answer a good answer, or are they all bad answers?
That's yeah, you're right. You're right. So it says here it began in the 1400s. But I want to say this, and I think I kind of alluded to it in I think week 2, that believe it or not, we had already came to America. We had already came to America, chilled out, hung out with the Native Americans or the indigenous people, and then we went on back to Africa. We traded with them and we went back. So I want you guys to keep in mind some of the people that were considered slaves were the people that had done some horrendous things in these different in Africa. So they weren't didn't mean that they weren't intelligent, smart people. They were like the ones who had some issues. A lot of them were some of the ones that came from Africa were the ones who had some issues. So we we didn't bring it wasn't necessarily always that we brought out they got the best of us. Let me say it like that.
I got a question, man.
Yes.
Where did you discover that information?
From a lot of the reading I was doing, that it wasn't our best that came over here at first.
Some of what we kind of know to be true is sometimes you can disappoint you. Like, for instance, a lot of us never came from Africa.
Mm-hmm.
West Africa, or if it was because we were back. We because it was a different. We had Pangea back then. It was all one big continent. So our people was all over.
Exactly.
And including America. So there's people that look like you and me
Mm-hmm.
when they ran into the other ones.
Yes.
Well.
Exactly.
So we had an established relationship with those people that came across from overseas that looked like us. But as far as them being us, they weren't us exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why a lot of Black folks we have in America, we have our own traditions for generalizing being Black. Like they have fufu, the finger food that they eat.
Mm-hmm.
We don't do that here.
Yeah.
And we not only do it here, we do something completely opposite.
Exactly.
So we have our own customs and they have their own customs.
Exactly.
But oddly enough, we were already here. A lot of people
mm-hmm.
that came from on a boat. We did.
Nope.
Logistically, it'd be impossible that they would have. Because you got to remember, we just said 40% survival rate on one boat. They were, and what they were saying is true. They were bringing 60, 70,000 people over here. And that's a lot of boats. So how many people are really dead? Or is that really true?
Exactly.
That's possibly the biggest atrocity known to mankind. That I mean, I hate to compare tragedies, but that is probably the most horrendous way a human has treated another human in human history.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So, yeah.
I got my great grandfather. It says New Orleans, Louisiana, slave manifest from 1807 to 1860.
Mm-hmm.
And he born about 1813. He was on the Tribune ship. It arrived in New Orleans December 1st, 1836. He was 23.
Mm-hmm.
And William H. Williams was the owner at first.
Uh-huh.
And then the next owner was Washington D. Lee. And the next owner was they kept changing ownership.
Yeah, they were selling them.
Yeah, Boyd Simpson was in Mobile, Alabama, but it arrived inward manifest in New Orleans, and they sold them in New Orleans.
Wow. Now, what was the name of the ship that he came on?
The Tribune.
Tribune. Okay, Tribune. Okay.
Tribune.
Okay.
And he married, but they didn't record it until 1880.
Okay.
But he did get married in 1850. But and he married Mary Baez.
Okay.
So
interesting information.
And he had three children. And my grandmother was his daughter. And I got the marriage license and everything.
Wow. Awesome.
But they came through Canada. They came from Canada, Nova Scotia, Canada, into Washington. And that's when they was in the Orange House. Because I have a book that Mr. Ferret sent to me, telling me the story. It says, let me get the book. Here it is. William's Gang. And it's a notorious slave trader and his cargo of black convicts.
Do you see what he said?
Jeff Ferret.
Did you hear what he said?
Yeah.
So they weren't the, I don't want to say that they were, it didn't take away from the idea that these people were very intelligent. They just did some bad stuff. That's all. So all the best of the best did not come from over there. Okay. So it says it began in the late 1400s when Portuguese ships started transporting Africans for use as enslaved laborers on the sugar plantations in Cape Verde and Madeira Islands. The trade had devastating effects on Africa, leading to depopulation, social disruption, and economic challenges. Wow. So it says, who's involved in the slave trade? Who do you guys think was involved? We went over the map, but who else do you think was involved in the slave trade?
You mean like countries?
Yeah, countries, people, nationalities.
The Europeans, Portuguese, Britain.
Yeah. France.
Yeah.
The European country. Yeah.
Yep, that's right. You guys right. It says in Africa, the regions most affected included West Africa, particularly the areas between Senegal and Niger rivers, as well as Congo, Angola, and the Congo and the Angola region. These areas were major sources of enslaved people due to the demand for labor in the Americas. European countries heavily involved in the transatlantic slave trade included Portugal, Spain, the Netherlands, England, and France. Portugal was one of the earliest and most significant players, dominating the trade for over a century and a half. Wow. Especially from Congo and Angola area. The Dutch, English, and French also played major roles, with the English and French controlling about half of the trade by the 18th century. In the Americas, the Caribbean islands and the southern United States were primary destinations for enslaved Africans, just like you just mentioned, New Orleans. The Caribbean in particular saw a significant influx of enslaved people to work on sugar plantations. So each and every day when you put that sugar in your coffee, on your grits, okay, think about our people, okay? Um, the transatlantic slave trade had profound impacts on these regions, contributing to the economic development while also causing severe and social psychological issues for the enslaved population. That came from Britannica.com. So, yeah. So on the screen, I don't know if you guys can see it, but these are pictures of what the slave ship was supposed to look like. And what's amazing is that, and I want us to keep our minds open, because I don't want to say this in a way to make people, I want people to think. Let me say that for one thing. I want you to think. Do you guys, and tell me, you guys, do you believe that they actually did us like this?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
So okay. So they had levels in the bottom of the ship, because this is showing the diagram of the ship. So they had, yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, but when you look at how, to me, it could be plausible for me. I doubt a lot of things. But the way that the ship was made, I'm trying to figure out how was they able to get all those people on there. And again, a lot of them passed away. So they might have been able to get them on the ship, but keeping them on the ship on this long voyage didn't make, it wasn't plausible. Now, go ahead.
I wanted to, I'm going to bring it to the medical side.
Okay.
A lot of people don't know. If you have high blood pressure, the average Black person that has high blood pressure, they have to have a diuretic to control their blood pressure. You can put them on blood pressure pills, but it would never bring them. I'm not going to say never, never say never. Most of the time, it will not bring their blood pressure down until they put them on a diuretic, which is a fluid pill.
Okay.
And where that goes to what I'm about to say is, most of the slaves that survived this voyage, they were fluid retainers.
That's right. Gotcha.
So they held on to their fluids to keep going. Whereas the ones who are not fluid retainers, that many of them ended up dying.
Exactly.
So that's why if you notice, most African American Black people, however you want to say it, that suffer from high blood pressure, they don't get that blood pressure under control till they put them on a diuretic to release that fluid.
Exactly.
And that goes all the way back to slavery.
Yep.
To the slave ship.
That's right.
That's how those people survive to get to the next destination.
Yep. That's true. That's right. You're right.
But I believe, in my heart, I believe that they did those slaves, did us, because my grandmother, she is from Haiti, and she was brought to New Orleans, and then she wound up in Marksville, but she told the story, and everybody I know, my mama tells the story too. My dad did too. So I know all three of them wasn't lying.
Exactly. You're right. Okay. So this is going to talk about life upon the slave ships. I think this is, let me see if this is what I think it is. Okay. It's not what I think it is. I thought it was my video. So they were talking about from approximately 1525 to 1866, the number was 12.5 million Africans were forcibly transported across the Middle Passage to serve as slaves in the New World. Life aboard the ships were agonizing and dangerous. Nearly 2 million slaves would perish, and it's a hit. I forgot. You know what? Let me see. Let me go to. Okay. All right. I thought that was what I wanted. Let's go here. Here we go. No, that's not what it is. Let's go. Let me get back to that. Okay. Um, it was, I thought it was my video, but it wasn't the video that I thought I wanted on there. So let's go here. This is talking about the human, this is the human humanity center.org, and this is talking about, this is where I was good. Okay, this right here is talking about the resistance that they had during that time, that there were resistance. So it talks about the laws that bound. All the colonies developed laws to establish and maintain dominance over African members of society. This held true to Africans who came to the New World as free agents, servants, or as slaves. The body of law that evolved, known various as slave codes, black codes, and Code DR, aimed to limit African social, economic, and political autonomy, as well as to control the growth of the free African population. Yet, whenever possible, Africans use the laws to their own advantage. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because even during that time, you guys, there were some resistance. Everything didn't go the way that they wanted to on those slave ships. Okay. Because if you think about Amistad, you guys know the whole story about Amistad, which was it was the name of the slave ship was called Amistad. There was a slave on there who definitely took it to a whole nother level. Okay. He wasn't playing. And he did get some people, he killed some people, but he didn't get everybody. There was another incident on a slave ship where the guy took over the slave ship. He started dressing just like them. He killed the captain. He killed him, and his guys got together and they killed everybody on the ship. And then they dressed in their uniform. And because it was dark, when they would pass the other ships, they would just wave their hand. They didn't know that they were not the original people, the ones who, the slave masters or the people who was transporting them. They thought automatically that it was they didn't have in their minds that it was actually African American, the slaves themselves, that was actually running the ship. And the reason why I'm saying that is the navigation system, and I think we talked about it in week 1 or 2. The navigation system on the oceans and on those waters, we created it. We had the technology for navigation. So it wasn't nothing for us to take over a ship and take it wherever it needs to go. It wasn't hard for us to do that. So he literally took the ship and he literally landed where they were going. They literally got off and they start living just like everybody else did. And they lived as freed slaves because people didn't realize that they took over the ship. So they were able to live just like everybody else did. But they took over a ship and was able to do that. So we were very intelligent. We were not stupid at all. We just needed to know how to navigate the water, and we needed to know how to navigate when we got off those boats and where we were going. So they were able to intermingle, I guess, with other people, okay, and live. They were able to do that. So there's a lot of stories about people rebelling and being resistant. They did not want to keep living that life. Once they got over here, I'm quite sure they knew how to not talk to certain people because, again, they didn't have the language down. Okay, so there were a lot of obstacles in their way. That's why I want us to always know that we are some resilient people, because despite all of that, we were able to navigate our way through a whole strange land places we never even seen before. And we were able to navigate and go in there without a map. Yeah, without a map. Go ahead.
Wisdom. We had wisdom.
That's right.
We live by the spirit.
That's right.
Because you remember they said Harriet Tubman would pass out and she didn't know where she was going.
Mm-hmm.
When she wake up, she say, "Let's go this way."
Yeah.
That's the spirit.
That's the spirit. Guides watching over you and making sure you're getting where you need to get. Yeah. Yeah.
And to be very honest with you, up until the cell phone with the map and everything on that, you still could go different places and did not have a map or nobody told you how to get there, but you still got there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
But back then we got by the spirit, keep the hill, they say keep the river to the right of you.
Mm-hmm.
And you keep the river to the right, you go to, you keep going.
Yeah. Exactly.
And for those slave rebellions, we had a lot of slave rebellions because the people knew what they were.
That's right. That's right.
And in order to conquer the people, they went. I think they went back to England. Hey man, these niggas. I'm sorry, these black folk ain't acting right. And they said, "Well, do they know who they are? Yeah, they know who they are."
Mm-hmm.
They said you got to make sure they get who they is.
Yep.
Because see, when you went over there and got them, they wasn't like that.
Mm-hmm.
So when you put them chains on them people, hold on, man, we wasn't no chains. We run around chasing lions and lions and gorillas and stuff. So they had to make sure they forget, we had to forget who we were.
Yeah.
A lot of slave rebellions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even down here. They had some slave rebellions, but they can't report all that. But then if they report all that, then they got to admit that, hey, slavery did go on.
Yeah. Yeah. It did. That it actually happened. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
It's a sad case, how they did it. But, my thing is, if we fought and died to get out of chains, why the hell these young kids dying to get back in them?
Because it's called what?
I don't know.
It's called.
I don't know what it's called.
It's called post-traumatic slave disorder.
I didn't know they had that.
It's Dr. Joy DeGride. Her name is Dr. Joy DeGride wrote a book about post-traumatic slave disorder. Just like when we talk about Stockholm syndrome.
That's right. They say slave, and they say what they say, stress.
Yeah, but
I can't agree. I can't agree with that, though, Mr. Carl.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm gonna tell you why.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody don't act like that. Only certain people do.
Okay.
So we fighting to go back. It's like we're running backwards on a treadmill.
Okay. But it's still, everybody doesn't have PTSD. Certain people have PTSD too, right? So it has to be certain events that happen to a certain extent.
Some form of PTSD.
That's right.
For something in life.
In something in life, anything traumatic. And it's in our DNA. They prove that whatever happened, it's in the DNA.
Yeah, because some of these kids don't know what slavery is.
I know.
Some of these kids can't.
They don't want to hear about it either.
They don't want to hear about it. Exactly.
And see, that's a way of them, and we can't get angry at them because you know why? We as adults have not sat down and discussed that with them. So we can't get angry at them. We can't get mad at them because we don't teach them anything. We put all the burden on the schools. They can teach it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they got a label now. They call YNs.
Yeah, I saw that. That's
Called YNs.
Well, I think those YNs can be reined in. I think they can be reined in.
Some of them could. Some of them can't.
Yeah.
Some of them could. I believe some of them could. Some of them just. But back to the slavery thing. Slavery is real.
It's still going on.
And it's still going on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Still going
That's
on.
what they don't understand.
Instead of beating the black American, they beat them with their mouths.
Yeah, exactly.
They were a slave to the computers.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Because you get on the computer, I get on the computer every morning and look at this big butt. I wake up,
Huh? Okay, that went over my head. That went over. Alrighty then.
We digital slaves.
Yeah, we're digital slaves. We can't put that phone down. We found other things. Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 Mm-hmm. Yep.
Go listen to it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, she's talking to somebody. She's talking to somebody.
Okay.
So talking about what we were just talking about, you guys, great information. Thanks. So it says here, slave resistance began in British North America almost as soon as the first slaves arrived in Chesapeake. Where's Chesapeake at?
Chesapeake is up north.
Now, where? What state is Chesapeake in?
It's in New York.
Chesapeake Bay, that's Virginia stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Well, see, but nobody wants to tell the truth about slavery. Slavery come from the Catholic Church, Mr. McCall.
Yep, Roman Church. Yep.
That's the reason why the church is in New York. Is it? What's the name of the Catholic Church? They offer the black kids Georgetown, that's right.
Georgetown.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They offer the black kids
they're free education.
Scholarships and stuff like
that.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Because them people wound up to the bottom of Louisiana.
Made to school.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am. And they wound up at the bottom of Louisiana, Marigold or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
The Catholic priests said, okay, look, we're not gonna do slavery by like indentured service, because back then they had like white slaves. We're gonna do it by color this time.
Mm-hmm.
So they made black people slaves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You see, you tell folks that.
And on the census, they put different colors. You are a light color, or you are brown, or dark brown.
Mm-hmm.
They put those on the census.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's but that's what it is. And slavery came out the church, and it's like we were doomed from the jump.
Yeah.
When we forgot who we were, that's when we got doomed the worst.
Yeah.
Because if I'm an African, I'm a fighter. I'm gonna be a fighter. When I get to where I gotta go.
Yeah, warrior. Yeah, when you're a warrior from the tribe that you come from. Exactly.
And you got to kill me.
Yeah.
You got to kill me.
That's right. You're right.
And slave. I understand the pigs, the pig, whatever y'all said about it. I understand it in a way, but we don't teach our history. The white folks teach our history.
Exactly.
For sure don't.
That's right.
The white folks,
even in Catholic school all my life, they never mentioned slavery.
Yeah, they trying to make the king house something good.
Exactly.
Well, how you gonna tell me that's good?
That ain't good, because it was a slave. It was a plantation.
It was a plantation.
Well,
they teach our history, and they don't want to let us teach.
Yeah, exactly.
And they want to take the credit.
Exactly.
Yeah, they call the plantation an antebellum home now.
Yeah.
This is damn plantation.
Well, just like they changed slave masters to planters. When I found, when we talked about that, they're slave masters. Where do planters come from? Because they're not the ones who's doing the planting.
That's a word that they.
Yeah. They were slave masters. Who said they were what the hell? You know what I'm saying?
So when they tell it, they can make themselves look good.
Yeah.
They don't want to tell the brutal. They don't want to tell the brutal slave stories, and they don't want to tell the fact that the white woman was just as dirty as the white man.
Yeah.
So what?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
She and big birthday because the slave master go get big birthday at nighttime. You in the bed.
Yeah.
You don't want to.
Exactly.
Mandingo.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. And it's, you know, they've done enough on us.
Exactly.
They've done enough on us, and it's to a point to where, even right now, Mr. McCall, we still have slave mentality ways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because they want you to hold your head down when you talk to the white people.
Yep.
Boy, don't you raise your mouth to them. Don't you raise your voice to that white man. What do you mean? You ain't no better than nobody else. But if someone, but once again, like y'all said, if it's in their DNA,
yeah,
that's just the way they got it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. There's a lot of times that's what's happening. It's in their DNA, and they act a certain way around them. And this thing we have with wanting to be loved and accepted by them, that's a sort of like a slave mentality. Simply because back then, there were some slaves that want the favor of the master. Because if you have the favor of the master, then you get little perks. Like what's it called? What? Wait a minute. What's it called? What that corn whiskey?
Yeah, corn whiskey, fine with love.
If you hear him cough, he gets them, right?
After they finish the year for planting and picking cotton, they give like a party, and that's Mardi Gras.
Yeah, exactly.
And they would paint their face up and walk and dance right off the plantation.
Yep. Now, it also, so when we're talking about resistance, some of the ways that slaves wanted to resist was they would slow up on their work. If say, for instance, the slave master added one more work, so what they would do was they would slow up on their work. They would sabotage the production. Um, they so we weren't stupid. They would do just like crazy things. They'll do like a couple of people will do it, and then it's widespread. Then everybody's doing it where they're sabotaging because they refuse to do the work. They also stole. They pilfered fruits, vegetables, livestock, tobacco, liquor, and money from their masters. Uh, So you know where all that come from? We go to Walmart and steal, right? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. But Uncle Tom, no, not Uncle Tom. It's not Uncle Tom who did that. Uncle Tom was. It's not Uncle Tom.
Yeah. No, Uncle Tom would be the one to add stuff in your cotton bag.
Gotcha.
Because he don't want you to get beat tomorrow.
Gotcha.
You see, Uncle Tom be the one be stealing from the white folk to make sure everybody eats.
Yeah, exactly.
Uncle Tom didn't want to beat nobody.
Exactly.
But see, by them telling us our history, they made Uncle Tom into a bad word.
That's right. They sure did. They sure did. That's right. They sure did.
Uncle Tom didn't want to beat nobody.
Yep.
He didn't want to do that, but they said Uncle Tom was a bad man, so they changed things. And Sambo, so. But Uncle Tom was the one that saved a whole lot of people.
Yeah.
But we don't know that because somebody else telling us our own history.
Yeah, somebody else is telling our history, so they saying he was a bad person when he wasn't.
And yeah.
But they fix it the way they want to fix it.
What did you say, Miss Summer?
Uncle Tom was a good man.
Yes, he was. Yes, he sure was. Now, Miss Summer, you guys remember Miss Summer found the name of the disorder for slaves who wanted to escape. What was that disorder called?
Oh, goodness, Kathy. Oh, she come out, God. I don't forget.
Was it Dragocomia or something? Was that the name?
Yes.
Yeah. So they would say that because people wanted to get away from somebody beating your tail, and raping your kids and raping your young girls, that it was something wrong with them, that they wanted to leave what they were going through. That's mind-boggling.
Well, that's how it goes, Mr. Carl. Yeah, you know, when somebody hang you,
Mm-hmm.
trying to hang you, and you kill them, you wrong for trying to save yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Trying to hurt you. What the hell you mean?
Wait a minute. What? What are you talking about?
Yeah, and you know that's like for sharecropping people.
Mm-hmm.
When they so-called say we were free.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even that lady, that's cook, whatever her name is, was Paula Dean.
Okay.
They couldn't do it. They're not built like us. Paula Dean granddaddy went in the back and killed himself.
Mm-hmm.
Because he could take it
because they were
Thank
slave
you.
owners.
Yes, ma'am. They were slave owners, and when they said the slave was free, the man couldn't take it no more. When I did, he shot himself in the head.
Exactly.
You see, so it's like, and now I'm starting to understand it might be in our DNA to what they want. We will forgive them for doing anything to us.
Yep.
But we'll go to hell because our sister did something to us a long time ago when we was 10 years old.
Yeah. Yep, you're right.
But our own people, our own brothers and sisters.
But you know what? Don't you ain't gonna forget it, and you begin to think about it when you get older, and you begin to dislike. I don't want to even be around that person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
exactly.
But that they told what's called you picked the wrong subject to get on. Oh, guys,
Why?
I'll be not getting light.
Huh?
What you call? Yeah, I won't. Yeah, I can't talk on the subject. People ain't gonna like me.
Oh, this subject. Why not?
Yeah, like
The name of it for you.
Okay, I saw that. I hadn't got a chance. I saw it, and I'm gonna go back to the comments that were made. Now, why would you say that, Nat? Okay, in our chat. Okay.
Because like I say, they told us our history. They say Jesus is coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus was the first damn slave ship. That's what it was, Mr. McCall.
Yeah, it was coming back.
And they waiting on the first slave ship to take us back to Africa. But I can't tell nobody.
You better.
If they look up the first slave ship, it's called Jesus. And people told us Jesus will come back and take you home.
Mm-hmm.
And grandma would be Mr. McCall. So I can't tell nobody the truth. I can't lie to everybody.
Wow.
It's just the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus was the first slave ship, Mr. McCall.
Yeah. You're right.
Oh, Jesus come back and go take us to the motherland.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what we got told. And we're still waiting on Jesus to come back. And we find out Jesus big old wooden ship and go take us back to Africa. What are we gonna do?
Well, that's what they want us to do anyway. They want us to get on a big old wooden ship and go back to Africa anyway. And watch how quick America will collapse. America will collapse. It will fold within like this automatically. Huh?
We don't just need to go back. We take
everything with us.
In it.
That's right. That's right. That's right. They'll be in dark ages.
And sorry for the mixed kids.
They can't go. That's wrong. Okay, so it says here the most.
They can go if they look darker.
Oh, they got to pass the brown bag test. Is that what you just said? Right. Oh Lord, jeez, I'm done.
Pass brown bag test.
Oh my God. So
most
get left behind.
I was like we'd have to beg. Can we take her with us? Can we take her? Can we take her? They're like, we have to have a committee meeting. They'll have to get together and do them. You know she wouldn't make it. You already know she ain't gonna make it.
She ain't gonna make it.
Let me go to vacation
Oh boy. So it says forms of resistance were organized armed rebellions between 1691 and 1865. At least 9 slave revolts erupted in what would eventually become the United States. So they all happened when they came here. Wow. The most prominent of these occurred in New York City in 1712, Stonewall, South Carolina in 1739, New Orleans in 1811, and Southampton, Virginia. Nat Turner's rebellion was in 1831. Numerous other conspiracies were thwarted before they could be fully realized, including Gabriel Prosser's, who was in Richmond, Virginia in the 1800s, and Denmark Vesey in Charleston, South Carolina in 1822. Slaves commandeered weapons, burned and looted properties, and even killed their masters and other whites. But whites were quick to exact a brutal revenge. In the bloodiest American revolt, Nat Turner and several hundred comrades killed 60 whites. Over 100 enslaved were hung, along with 3 free blacks. If the measure of a revolt success was the overthrow of slavery, then none of these revolts succeeded. Ultimately, the only rebellion that succeeded in overthrowing slavery in the Americas was the Haitian Revolution, right? Slave rebellions in colonial America and United States never achieved such widespread success. However, the importance of rebellion cannot be overstated. The constant specter of physical violence reminded whites that slavery would never go unchallenged. The possibility of another Haiti loomed large, especially in the 19th century American South. So, when we think about that, when we talk about the Haitian War, that's when the Louisiana Purchase happened around that time, if I'm not mistaken. So nobody said we did this without kicking and fighting. You understand what I'm saying? Basically, that's what it's saying. We did fight back. Why they won over us, I don't know, because we always outnumbered them. But I do believe that there were some people in there that, we use that word, that were going back telling. I think in every one of those. That was the one in Louisiana.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
That's what it said in the record books.
Yeah, that's what it said in the record book. So, so we know that in these different areas that there was somebody who was telling something. Somebody was going back because they was too scared. And you got to remember the mindset of a lot of us. We were, think about how jealous somebody was of Nat Turner, because Nat Turner was kicking ass. Okay, he was straight. I'm sorry, they didn't like that. Yes, yeah. So you had a lot of people probably was telling, snitching big time, giving out all the information, telling everything. All right. So we did do a lot of resistance. Okay. Everything wasn't that everybody was able to do whatever they want to us, because that wasn't possible at all. And it wasn't going to happen like that. Mm-hmm.
Well, look how it affect a bunch of our country today.
Yeah. Yeah.
It affect Haiti so bad. Haiti beat them white folks so bad until they came up with a doctrine saying no European country should help Haiti.
Yep, sure did.
So now when people was coming from Haiti, they turned them around.
Yeah.
But they let the people from Ukraine come to America.
Mm-hmm. Ain't that something? Ain't that something?
Right there.
Yeah.
They'll let them drown.
Yes, ma'am.
And they will not help them. But let somebody from Ukraine get in their water. They're gonna call the National Guard.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. They definitely will. You're right. You're right. So as you know, so one of the questions, we could go deeper into that, but I don't want to. We got plenty of time to do it again and bring it up again. One of the questions was, how would you feel during that time? That was one of the questions. How would you feel during that time if you were involved in that?
I'd have been a good slave.
Huh?
I'd have been a good slave. I'd have been a good slave.
You would be a good slave?
Yeah, I'd be a good slave.
I'd be a mad slave.
You would be a what?
What do you gotta think about it?
A mad one.
Okay.
What you gotta think about the times you're in?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing about it is when you stand up there and seeing somebody getting beat, I can't really watch those kind of movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Exactly.
right.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I'd have been a good one. I'd have been a good field hand. Yeah, so about, yeah, so I'm just trying to live.
So you saying you?
Man, you would have been the one too.
I don't know. Me with my mouth, I don't know.
That's about.
Yeah.
That's
Put me in the house, let me work in the house, because I ain't taking nobody's cotton, because I went in the cotton fields with my mama when she was picking cotton.
You're right.
Yeah, I'd have been. Yeah, I'd have been a good old field hand. I'd have been a buck, Mandingo.
You would be a
Mandingo.
We were talking about the breeding farms. We were talking about the ideal how they breeded us. They literally had men that they found, like the ones that could survive everything, and they watched them and they studied them. And then when they saw all the things that they were able to do, and despite how they were treating them, they would mate them with other what's the names? With women. Go ahead.
Where do you think the word MF come from?
Yep, that's right. That's where the word MF will come from, because of the breeding farms we had. They had, and they would mate them. And see, lots of times you didn't know if you were mating with your sister, your brother, your cousin, your uncle, your father, because they were moving you around all the time. You were moving around all the time. So they didn't know, you don't know unless, if the baby come out slow or something wrong with the baby, then you know something. But they were doing that very bad. They were doing that real bad. So sometimes we make fun of people who we say that about, but in reality, y'all, we really don't. And like sometimes, when you see people who look like you, I know everybody's seen somebody who look like you, resemble you, right? In this world. So think about that, might be in your genes and you don't even know it.
Yeah, my dad is doing something he hadn't been doing. Shit, we ain't gonna blame that.
No, seriously. I'm talking about before your daddy. I'm talking about back in the day. I'm talking about in slavery time, they didn't. I was reading this book called Unspoken Woman. I think that's the name of it. And in one of the stories in there, a lady married her son. She didn't realize that was her son. She didn't know it was her son because they had moved him around so much. So when he became a grown man, she didn't know until she went, they did some research and found out that she had married her son because of slavery, because they had moved him around and moved her around. She wound up marrying him. I didn't say she stayed with him, but she found out that he was, after they had got married, that he was her son. Okay. So it's crazy the way things are, and we just anyway. So let's I want to say some stuff, but I want to keep this where we don't, I don't want to make it where
go too deep.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Yeah. You heard people feel this.
And I can't do that.
We leave it. You ain't gonna hurt people's feelings because it's the truth.
It's the truth. Yeah. Sometimes you got to go down the rabbit hole to show people what's really going on.
That's right. That's right. That's right. You're right.
We got lied to. You know what? It said how to make a Christian Negro or whatever it was.
How to make a Negro a Christian.
Yeah. They said you got to take pain on him. Get him close to die. Then don't let him die. Then he say, thank God he's getting killed.
Yep.
That's sad. The same thing they doing now.
Yeah. That's sad.
That's the same thing
they gonna beat the man half to death. Then they gonna say now he's a Christian.
Yeah. Yeah,
That don't mean
exactly.
you're gonna be a Christian now since you beat it.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
Exactly.
it's a lot of stuff that this rabbit hole is not a rabbit hole. What it is, Mr. Call is it's stuff they don't want you to tell.
Mm-hmm.
Why you think they
Exactly.
fight against the critical race theory?
Like
Yeah.
they used to say, hide that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was comfortable. Because see, the whole thing is we don't need to make them uncomfortable.
Yeah. And then our elderly parents, our parents and our great grandparents and all them, they wasn't gonna say nothing because they wanted to hide that.
Yeah, they wanted to hide that. That's right.
Because so the man won't get off his horse and start beating you with a whip.
And remember now, they also branded you so that you know who you belong to.
Yeah, so you know who you belong to.
Yeah.
And then a lot of stuff is called this. Some of them don't want the truth out there. They really ain't white. They black.
That's right. They pass. You got a lot of.
Got a lot of them. That's why they don't. Yeah. That's why the woman don't want to have a baby because she know that baby might come out black.
Yeah.
Right there off of Cane River, and Flatwoods got a lot of those.
All right.
Passing.
That's right.
I'd rather pass. I don't think I wouldn't want that. And you know, another word for passing is code switching. That's another word.
McCall, if I could have got out about the pass, goddamn,
Nope. No.
Women that do pass, they don't have children because they know that black baby gonna come out at one point.
That's right.
And they suffer.
Yeah, they suffer. They rather adopt.
Kids and she know she don't want none because they're gonna come out black.
Yeah. That's crazy, but that's what happens.
That's why I just told my son yesterday, white can't make black, but black can make a white baby.
Sure can. That's called that recessive gene technology.
There you go.
We can do blood, blue eyes, do all that.
Yep. Sure can. That's right. Sure can make blue eyes.
Darker than Cooter Brown and come here with a white baby.
Yep. That's true. That's so true. You're right about that. So you guys, this is the end of our conversation with that, but we have documents that or worksheets that we do after each presentation. This worksheet we're talking about is vocabulary words, and what I want to do is I'm going to give y'all some vocabulary words, and I want you guys to kind of guess at it, and then we'll tell you whether or not you're right. So anybody knows what abolition means?
Yeah, John Brown.
No, that's not what it means.
He fought against slavery.
A bunch of rednecks.
No.
No, they fought against slavery. Abolition. John Brown was abolition.
What you saying? You want the definition of abolition?
Yes. Yes.
Abolition is putting an end to something.
Okay.
Yeah, putting an end to something.
Okay.
And John Brown was an abolition.
Situation, a practice, or like slavery.
Okay.
You know, putting an end to it.
Okay. Okay. So what is an abolitionist?
That person.
John Brown.
Okay. Is that how you answer that? Because he's
John Brown. That's the one that
no, that is okay. When we talk vocabulary, that is an example. That is not the what it is.
Yes, ma'am. Well, abolition was the person who fought against slavery.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, sir.
John Brown should be up. He should be up there with Jesus Christ because he done more for the black race than anybody else. But I digress.
Oh Lord. Okay. What do the word anti-slavery mean?
Against slavery. Anti-against.
Okay. What about branded?
That is putting a mark, some form of beating or some to mark a person for, you know,
something like a tattoo.
Fraternities do it all the time. They bring that's a, you know, to identify where you can identify who you belong to.
Exactly. What is the definition of black?
Man, black ain't no definition. That's color.
No, not back here. Not during this time. It wasn't a color. What
See,
was
but
that?
Black was darkness.
Mm-hmm.
that's why
Okay.
we got why we
The
took our
darker
own
you
stuff.
are, the blacker they say you was.
Okay. Okay. The answer to the abolitionist is a person who supported the movement to end transatlantic slave trade and slavery. Okay.
John Brown. John Brown.
All right.
So
He's
when
so
you look
crazy.
at abolitionists, you gonna see John Brown as the definition.
John
Yeah.
Brown.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, John Brown's is coming up next week. Okay, we're talking about abolitionists on next week's of course. Okay, so what is a caboose? Cabal. I'm saying
Kabuta?
it's called a caboose. Yeah, caboose. What is a caboose?
I never heard that before.
I thought that's when you say caboose, I'm obsessed. That's the last baby she gonna have. But I ain't
No.
heard that one.
That's the end of the line.
Yeah.
The caboose. Okay, that is the person who actually was of African descent that worked along with slave traders to make sure they razzle everybody up and get everybody ready for the
Oh,
auction. Isn't
the
that
big
something?
boy. One of the big boys.
Roosevelt would be one. Who else would be one?
That's it.
And wasn't it Andrew Jackson?
Huh?
Wasn't Andrew Jackson one of those?
No, not Andrew Jackson was black. He was a president.
Yeah, but beforehand.
Yeah.
Was he one? Okay.
Because he had slaves. He was in that era.
Okay.
That he wasn't a good man.
Yes, he definitely wasn't a good man. None of the forefathers were. None of them were. They all had them. So what is chattel slavery? What is chattel slavery?
That's the slave is like you buy corn or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Chat,
Okay.
the owner would buy the slave.
You're treated as property. You're treated as property.
Okay. Okay. So what is civilization? I can't even talk tonight. Civilizations.
It's when everything came together. Civilization.
Okay. That's a good one. What is colonial?
Yeah, that's what my folks come down here.
Yeah, that's the white part.
She said that's the right part. Okay, what is corporal punishment?
Corporal punishment. Nah,
That's beating back then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it could be. It's basically physical. You're doing something physical where they put that whip and hung you on the. Take your hands and strap them over your head and just beat you on your back to your flesh showing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And the last word is Creole. What is Creole?
Creole is a mixture.
Creole is a mixture of
French and black people, I think.
Yeah, French and blacks.
Okay.
It's a culture, cuisine. It could be a language, but it's just basically a multitude of
like a gumbo pot.
Yeah, melted pot. What they call it? What they call that stuff? Succotash. What they call it?
It's succotash.
Yeah, they just take everything out the freezer and put it in the pot.
And put it in the. Oh, I thought that was jambalaya. Okay.
It's called a sauce, I think.
No, they succotash or what's the other thing they call it? That what's the other name?
I know they call it sauce plum. They got all that kind of meat.
Filet gumbo?
No, what they call it, the succotash, when they take everything and just start mixing it up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't know that one.
You're talking about.
Yeah, it's another name for it.
It's the innards of a beef.
I don't know that one.
When I think of it, I'll tell you.
Okay. It's not chitlins, right? You know, I'm just kidding.
No, it's all good.
Okay.
That's all good. But this is the beef.
Okay. Okay. So you guys did pretty good. You did pretty good. So if you guys want a copy of that worksheet, let me know. I'm going to go over week 2 real quick because I think I missed something. But we're going to go over week 2. Week 2 talked about the different ancient African kingdoms, and you're going to find some real interesting stuff about this one. It says we're going to explore histories and cultures of pre-colonial African civilizations, places like Mali, Songhai, Great Zimbabwe, and we're talking about the kingdoms that marked our history. Okay, we're gonna the activity was labeling like the different the worksheet is going to be matching your kingdoms with all the information that we talked about here real quick. Okay, so let me make sure you guys can see this. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I just wanted to make sure you guys can see this. Okay, so on this one, we're talking about the kingdom of Kush. Now, I want you guys to pay attention to something on here, and I don't know if you guys can see this. I want you guys to look at the bottom picture down at the bottom. I know this is kind of small. I just didn't want to take up all that. So this is talking about the kingdom of Kush. Now, I want you to notice that there are boats. There are boats going down the Nile, okay? I want you to keep that in mind. I said boats. So when I said something about the navigational technology we had that technology, all right? So it says the kingdom of Kush was regional power was over 1,000 years. It was the economic center for ivory, iron, and gold. Kush was later called Nubia. Kushite kingdom, its capital was Meroe. Early Egyptian geography, Meroe was known as Ethiopia. Okay. It confluenced across the Blue Nile, the White Nile, and the Atbara River, which is considered the Republic of Sudan. So when people say that we were primitive and we lived in huts and we didn't have nothing, this picture right here shows we did. Okay. The next kingdom we're going to talk about is the land of Punt. Okay. This African civilization was known as mysterious around 2500 BC. You see how old we are? Over 2500 BC, known as the land of the gods. It's rich in ebony, gold, and myrrh, and exotic animals. Can you believe an ape was considered an exotic animal back then? Apes and leopards. And also during that time, in the 15th century, so listen to the times that we were already doing all these things. It says here, Queen Hatshepsut reigned there. Possibly this may be Somalia. They weren't for sure where it was up. And again, you guys, there's boats in this water. I just told you that we were doing all this stuff before they were. Okay. They were known for their mummified baboons. I don't know why they mummified their baboons. And this is the information right here. Seafaring between Egypt and Punt made milestone in human history because it drove the evolution of what? Maritime technology. Let me say that again. Seafaring between Egypt and Punt made milestone in human history because it drove the evolution of maritime technology. What is maritime technology?
On the boats.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, what you gotta think about? Yeah, the waterways.
Mm-hmm.
What you gotta think? The first university was HBCU.
Yeah.
Because they had to go to Africa and learn.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
See, that's what people don't understand. They had to go to Africa and learn.
Mm-hmm.
And Africa is a place for many countries.
Yep.
So, just we the beginning, the end, That's just the bottom line.
That's right. We are. We're the
What
alpha.
they're trying to do to get rid of us.
That's right. We're the alpha and the omega. No matter what nobody say, we are those things. So this is the Carthage. This is the land or the kingdom of Carthage. And it's 264 BC, ancient superpower. It clashed in the three Punic Wars they had. Ancient rival was Punic Wars. North African commercial hub for over 500 years. As a Phoenician settlement is now called Tanzania.
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 How do you spell Carthage?
It's Thrthage, Carthage.
Okay, guess what? They got Carthage, Texas.
Yep, you're right. A seafaring empire dominated trade in textile, gold, silver, and copper. It had, listen to this next thing, protected harbors with 220 ships in it. So again, when people say we were primitive, there's no way. There's no way, shape, form, or fashion we were primitive. Carthage influence extended North Africa to Spain and parts of the Mediterranean. The kingdom of Axum. It's 2nd and 3rd century AD. It traded in gold and ivory. It's a vital link between ancient Europe and the Far East. The written language was Ge'ez. They developed architectural design called an obelisk. Where do you guys see obelisk at? Tell me where you see them at.
I can't see that. I can see it on my phone.
It's the you know on the Washington Monument, you know where the Washington Monument is?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you think that's called?
You talking about that long thing that's standing up in the air?
Uh-huh. Yep.
Yes,
Liberty.
No,
ma'am.
You're not talking about liberty.
no.
No, she's talking about
The Washington Monument.
That's what I thought.
You look like a long pencil. Okay. But it can't. But we created it. We are the architectural design of the obelisk. So when you see, we have one in front of the Rapides General Hospital. We have one at the beginning of Lower Third. When you're coming into Lower Third, there's one sitting right there. There's one, I think, here in Pineville. But those are obelisks, and we created that. 4th century Axum became the first empire in the world to adopt Christianity. Ain't that something? Its religion legacy left behind the formation of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. Okay. Interesting, huh? So then we have the Malay kingdom, dates back to the 1200s. The ruler name was Sadia Kiata Better, known as Lion King. He was better known as Lion King. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. During his reign, he tightened the grip around the large portion of West Africa, grew rich in trade, important cities like Dijon and Timbuktu. It was the jewel of the African continent, and it was known over its wealth and luxury. Later ruled by the richest man on earth, Mansa Musa. Did y'all know that?
Yeah, that's the black guy.
Yep.
Yep. I just looked him up last week. I was reading across something about him.
Richest man on earth. Wasn't no white guy. He was a black guy.
He was a black guy.
Songhai Empire. Yep, Mansa Musa. Songhai Empire formed in the 15th century, larger than Western Europe, ruled by King Muhammad the First Askia. He established over 100 Islamic schools in Timbuktu.
You
The-
know, I thought Timbuktu was just a saying.
yeah, everybody did, but is it actual? It's actually a
It's an actual place.
yeah, it's an actual place. The largest ethnic group of the ruling elite, Songhai Empire of the 15th and 16th century, would include the present-day nations of Mauritania, I'm sorry, Mali, Burkina Faso, Guinea, Senegal, Benin, Niger, and the Ivory Coast. It would be considered West Africa. So, did you hear what he said? It was larger than Western Europe by itself.
And they took the land.
The Moroccan invasion of Songhai was to control the region's salt and gold. They had salt and gold. And then the last one was the Great Zimbabwe, named after the stone ruins of ancient city. People lived here starting around 1100 CE. Zimbabwe means stone houses in Shona. Controlled trade up and down the East African coast. The ruins of Great Zimbabwe was designated a United Nations educational, scientific, and cultural organization, World Heritage Site in 1986. Unfortunately, significant looting and destruction occurred in the 20th century at the hands of European visitors. You see what they did?
They the one was stealing.
Yeah. Although they were all too happy to explore and loot the ruins of Great Zimbabwe, in their racism, European colonists thought the city was too sophisticated to have been built by Africans.
What?
Mhm. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? Ain't that's crazy? That's exactly what they thought. Mm, mm, mm. Also,
Black people that are not smart enough to do anything.
exactly. Somebody said, "What about Wakanda?" No, Wakanda is not. Actually, is that a real place? I don't think Wakanda is a real place.
I don't know. I know it's not on my paper.
Yeah, look,
my DNA paper.
Yeah,
it's not on there. I got Cameroon. And places like that.
I got Cameroon. I got Benin. I got Niger. I got
Nigeria.
Oh shoot, I forgot the other place. That's on mine. Kush.
They're saying that Wakanda is in fact based on a real place.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, they're saying that the technology that we use now is kind of primitive.
Exactly.
The technology that they had back then. So
exactly.
Books. I don't know.
Exactly. You're right. So okay, so let's go real quick and I'm gonna let you guys go. We'll pull in number one. Let me see. Week one next time because I don't want to keep you guys. I think I've been doing it too long. Let's see here.
You know, when you say Kush,
Mm-hmm.
my dad had to have Kush every night.
Yeah, Kush is a country.
Kush is just, and Kush is, they would take cornmeal and stir it up with water and make a Kush.
Yeah.
And that's why when you said that, I said, "Oh boy."
Yeah, it's actually a kingdom of Kush. That's the name of it. Yeah, and it's spelled different. Kush is spelled different. Kush, the food is Cush, and Kush, the kingdom is Kush.
Okay.
Yeah. So real quick here, I think we went over these, but we're gonna go over them again. Real quick here. Okay. So The first one, you guys probably can't see it, but the first one, it says the name of this worksheet is called Name the Empires and Write 3 Facts About Each. Okay. Now, the first one, we'll see a picture of the obelisk. So which country was that from? Which kingdom was that from? You remember? Anybody remember where the obelisk came from? Well, y'all listening? I'm about to fire all y'all. Let me see if anybody in the chat room. Do anybody remember? No. Does anybody remember the obelisk? Which country did that come from? And can you name 3 things? Yeah, kingdom. Okay, I see him. It's a kingdom. Which kingdom was it? The obelisk came from the kingdom of Aksum. 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 That's where the obelisk came from.
No, not at first.
Yes. We went over this. You guys weren't listening. Excuse me? Excuse me? Because if I'm not mistaken, Miss Agnes asked what it was, and we told you what it was, the Washington Monument.
We know what it is. We didn't hear no accent.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, if you say so. So the kingdom of Askum is where the obelisk comes from. So that would be one thing. We need 2 more things that came from this kingdom that describes that kingdom. What other things? We said that it created the obelisk. We could say that it was the first what empire to do what? To adopt what? A Christianity. There you go. Good. Nah. Nah. Okay. Now, what do you remember? What is the religious legacy left behind, and what did it form?
Christian.
No, we already said that. She already said that.
Okay.
What formation of what type of church? Remember the church?
I believe the Vatican.
No. Nope.
Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
You fired. No. It left behind the legacy of formating the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. Those are the 3 things that came with that. Okay. So the next picture, what is this next picture of? Y'all remember I said the navigation, the maritime technology and all that?
The Nile.
Okay, no.
Oh, because I
Okay.
don't see a picture. I'm just
okay. You do remember the Blue Nile, the White Nile? Yes, you remember that.
Right.
Okay. Did you say the Mississippi River?
Mississippi River is the Nile.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, we just mentioned it. What did we just talk about? The kingdom of what? We said one is spelled with a C, the other one is spelled with a K. Okay, all right. Now, you mentioned you did good, Miss Summers listening. Y'all not listening. Miss Summer already gave 1 fact to that.
What you said, Javon?
You
jealous. But you jealous.
Now, can you name some of their economic resources that they had?
They had gold.
Yes. Gold.
They had
salt, sugar.
No.
What you say, Tavares?
They had sugar.
No. No. No.
He said salt and sugar.
No.
No, they had gold
Uh-huh.
and
Uh-huh.
And,
Yeah.
Animals, because they like the animals, the apes and the gorillas.
No,
they,
that's
they,
not. No, incorrect on that one. That's good. Y'all did good. Y'all did good. That's good. We'll go on to the next one. Next one. Y'all did real good on that one. So let's see here. Let's see the next picture. So the next picture is similar to that one. But it's the other picture of the boats in the water. Y'all remember that one? It was two of them like that.
the boat
Mm-hmm.
was
Let me give you, this was called the land of the gods. You remember that one? The land of the gods. Which one was that? It started with a P.
That leave us to take the test. That left us.
Yeah, Nat gone. Yeah, he left.
Sure did.
I think he went into the chat room. So we got it was called the land of gods. Okay.
It's God.
Now, was this where the maritime technology started?
Yeah,
It started at the beginning.
So it was called the land of Punt. The land of Punt. Y'all are done. Y'all are done. And it was
the land of what?
Punt. P-U-N-T. Punt. Okay.
See, we didn't know that.
Oh, y'all so crazy. Okay. So it was known as the land of gods. You talked about the remember you said earlier, Miss Summer, the exotic animals like apes and leopards.
Right.
That's where it was. You're correct with that. And then we talked about maritime technology. Remember, this is where it started. Yeah, and this is where it started at. Okay. Okay. The next one is the last one. Oh, I know this one. I think I do. This was known for, this is a picture of those stoned buildings. This is either going to be the Kingdom of Mali or Songhai, the Empire of Songhai. Let me see which one it is.
No, it's Mali.
Okay, you said it's Mali?
Uh-huh.
You're right. You're right. You're so right. So what are three things that you remember about the Mali kingdom?
They had gold and
What was it known for? What was it known as? The person the ruler who ruled over Mali, what was he known as?
it ain't Kush.
Mm-mm. It was a movie that came out. They named a movie after. It was a movie named, and it was about some big cat.
The black guy.
Yes, that's one of them. Yes, Mansa Musa. Yeah.
Mansa Musa.
Yep, that's one of them. Okay, but what? Okay, that one. And what did they call the ruler over Mali? What was he known as?
The king, huh?
Uh-huh. But what was he called before? What was the word before king?
You got me on that.
What's the big cat called?
Kahuna.
What you say, lion? Yeah. Yes. The ruler of Mali was known as the Lion King. And later on, the richest man on this earth, Mansa Musa, took over and ruled Mali too. So yeah. Now, what country, you said you didn't realize that it was a country. What is the other thing about Mali that remember you said earlier, You heard the word before, but you didn't realize that it was actually a country?
Not Congo.
Start with a T.
Yeah,
Tanzania.
No. Mm-mm. Nope. Remember you said you didn't think it was a real place?
Barbara said something on it.
Oh yeah, sure did. And I said it too.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think it was real. Mine gone.
5, 4. One more chance. 3, 2, 1. Timbuktu.
Timbuktu.
That's it. Timbuktu. Okay. Okay, so let's see. We got one more. And this one is almost similar to the Mali Kingdom, but it's the last one. You remember the last one we discussed? It starts with an S.
Sandu, something like that.
Tanzania?
No, It starts with an S. You're right. Songhai.
Yeah.
Songhai. Okay. You remember anything about Songhai?
They had gold too.
Mm-hmm. All of them had gold, but there were some significant things about Songhai. Who is that?
Somebody going working.
Yeah.
And they say he almost there and he ain't stopping.
So with Songhai, it was larger than Western Europe. That's one thing. How many schools did it start?
I remember. No, I don't remember a number, but I remember hearing it.
Okay. It started 100 Islamic schools in where? We just talked about the country. Timbuktu.
And Timbuktu.
That's right. And let's see here. What was it considered? It was considered what? North, east, west, south? Which one was it? Africa. Which one?
South Africa.
Anybody else?
Wasn't it Northern Africa?
Nope. I'm gonna give you one more chance. Nope.
Me don't know.
It was considered West Africa.
Oh, it was West Africa.
Yes, it's West Africa. You guys, y'all look, y'all are good. Y'all are excellent. Okay, let me see. Somebody was Songhai. Okay. They were okay. Awesome, you guys. Thank you so much. Look, the doggone chat room was off the chain. Yes, you guys, you did awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. They weren't playing tonight. Thank you. I hope you guys got something out of this. Go back and read some of this. Next week, we're going to be talking about abolitionists. We're going to be naming off some people. We're going to be watching some videos on the next one.
Okay. Abolitionists.
We're going to talk about abolitionists next week. And then I'm going to go back probably to 1 and let you guys, we'll go over the first lesson that we started, which was talking about Black history. What was Black history? How do we see Black history? Remember that. I think you guys were on the first call. We did that. So you guys did excellent today. Thank you guys. Thank everybody who came in the chat. Let me name, I love the name off the people that took time out their busy day and hung out with us tonight. We have Natrika. Did I say your name like Easley? Miss Easley hung out. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you guys want those worksheets, just let me know. Send me your email address and I will email them to you. I'll put your names in our shared docs for Google so I can send them directly to you guys. Who else was on here? Lucian Revo, thank you for hanging out with us tonight. Nat Turner, Taranisha Johnson, thank you for hanging out with us. Also, let's see here, Miss Linda. Hey, Miss Linda, it's almost on Wakanda forever. Thank you for hanging out with us, you guys. Thank you so much. You guys really made the class. Y'all did a great job in all the information you shared. If you want, also, you guys, if you want a copy of the PowerPoint, I don't mind giving that to you guys. Let me know. Email me or send me a message letting me know your email address, and I can send all that to you guys. So you can share this information with other people because it's not my information. I just love sharing it. So next week we'll talk about abolitionists. We're going to probably watch more videos. I think the last week we'll do Mississippi Burning. We'll watch the movie Mississippi Burning if it lets me. Okay, I'm just put to you like that. If it lets me, you'll watch that on the last part of this course. All right, you guys. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with us here. Tomorrow night, you guys, listen up now. Tomorrow night, we're going to do a regular Can We Be Frank show tomorrow night because we want to keep you guys abreast of what's going on. So definitely hit us up tomorrow night. And I'm thinking I got Mr. Porter to come on tomorrow night, and we're going to go delve into some local stuff going on. We got a election coming up, a meal that has to be voted on, and we got some other stuff we're going to be discussing. So we will be bringing back the regular Can We Be Frank show for tomorrow only for this time for right now, okay? Because we have to catch Mr. Porter when he's in town. So yes, midterms. Midterms. Oh yes, that's right. Midterms. We're gonna talk about who's coming up for midterms elections. That's right. You're right, ma'am. So yeah, so we're gonna be doing that tomorrow night. We're gonna probably be about 8:30. Won't be 8 o'clock, it'll probably be about 8:30. So we're looking forward to hanging out with you guys tomorrow. I want to thank you guys so much. And again, if you want a copy of our worksheets, I was messing up tonight so bad. I don't know why I was off my what's the name. But if you want a copy of the worksheets, hit me up. You have to print them out yourself. I can only email them to you. Also, if you want a copy of the presentations that we doing, let me know and I'll send them to you too. So thank you guys so much for everything. You guys have been such a blessing to us. And I hope we've been a blessing to you guys. So we'll see you guys tomorrow night. And bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay.